Kokoro Uehara lay in a heap on the ballroom floor. I could hardly get a good look at her amongst the crowd. All I could make out was a violent splash of red at her temple. Her body became the eye of the storm. Everyone devolved into total chaos around her. Stomping feet, aimless shouts, pointed fingers. No one even seemed to care that one of us had been struck down, too fixated on finding blame, and more importantly, not being next. The wall of noise constantly crescendoed, but never fell. Finally, someone came to restore order. A commanding voice overpowered the rest that battled beneath it.
She's not dead!
We turned to look at her, captured by her confidence. She was a real queen bee, and she dressed like it, in a pressed black and yellow school uniform. She was a student council type, managing to be both an authority and a peer.
Seriously? Did none of you even notice that she's still breathing?
No.
Alright. Hi, my name is Hanamaki Hanagata, Ultimate Apiarist. Can I just ask, does anyone here have any medical experience?
No.
Anyone with a particular knowledge of human anatomy?
A pale, dark-haired girl raised her hand, practically jumping up with excitement at the opportunity.
Great. You take her to one of the classrooms. See if you can help her come to.
Gotcha!
Everyone separated, allowing the pale girl a clear path to Kokoro. It seemed everyone had willingly deferred to the Queen Bee's authority. With the medic assigned, her attention moved to me.
You're her friend, right? Go with them.
We're not friends. I only just met her.
No? When the wall came down, she looked at you first. Either way, I don't think it's a great idea to leave two people alone right now, do you?
She had a point. I went to aid the girl with Kokoro. Sure enough, she was alive. Her chest heaved with shaky, but steady breaths.
Help me lift her, okay?
I'm not sure, though.
Let me.
Ji-Yeong Park made himself known once again, partaking in his favorite hobby of butting into others' business.
You've got a problem in your shoulder, right? It dislocated it in the Youth Olympics.
You really did do your research.
I told ya, following talented people is my job.
Ji-Yeong and the girl carried Kokoro down the hall, laying her on a desk in one of the empty classrooms.
Looks like simple head trauma.
This is a cruise ship. There should be a first aid kit on every floor. I'll see if I can go find one.
Good luck!
He gave me a reassuring smile as he exited, though it was wasted on me. I was left alone with the pale girl, who kept Kokoro's head raised, cradling it in her hands.
Looks like it's not too severe. Pretty nasty cut, but no long-term brain damage or anything.
How do you know that?
I don't really. Just going off what I've seen before.
You see things like this often.
In pictures! I'm the ultimate historian, Zhang Xiaoshu.
A historian. We're trusting you with her injuries.
Don't worry, I specialize in stuff like this.
Killing games?
Oh, I wish. No, my specialty is in murders, war, executions, torture. You know, the fun stuff.
I don't think that makes you qualified for this.
Don't worry, I was very thorough in my research.
Hanamaki was right. Probably would have been a bad idea to leave Kokoro alone with this woman.
What about you?
I'm the ultimate ex-ultimate, Masayuki Daiju.
Ultimate ex-ultimate? How interesting! Maybe I'll make your history my next area of study.
I'd really rather you didn't. Thankfully, Ji-Yeong returned before I had to make any more small talk.
Found it! It looks like there's one of these in every hallway.
He passed the first aid kit to Zhang Zhao, who began wrapping the bandages around Kokoro's head.
I still can't believe it, man. I mean, trying something like this, the first opportunity. I get it's scary and all, but...
No, it makes perfect sense. We looked to each other, her with delight and me with resignation.
It's the perfect time! Everyone's in the dark, there's the maximum amount of potential suspects, no one really knows each other. You basically have a 1 in 16 chance of getting away with it!
No witnesses, no way to confirm who was where and when. If they had actually landed the killing blow...
It would have been the perfect crime!
Still, to think there's a murderer among us.
Not yet.
Ooh, that was fast!
I'm still alive, so no one's a murderer yet, right?
Well, to be a murderer, you do have to kill someone.
Right, there's still a chance.
A chance of what?
That we can all still get along.
Incomprehensible. I grit my teeth so hard I thought they might snap. What are you talking about? Someone tried to kill you.
Yeah, and That's terrifying. But I'm sure they were scared too.
Don't be a fool. Thinking like that will just make you an easier target next time.
We don't even know if there's gonna be a next time.
Let's not argue right now. Kokoro, can you move?
I think so.
Guess they didn't hit you that hard after all. That kind of head trauma could have really messed with your motor functions.
Wow, how lucky.
Zhang Xiao, by the way.
Kokoro Uehara, thanks for the help.
Oh, not a problem. I actually quite enjoyed it.
Right. I'm feeling good enough to move. Maybe we should go meet back up with everyone?
Kokoro stood up, using it as an opportunity to shift closer to me. To my chagrin, it seemed like she had begun gravitating towards me. I could still hardly believe she existed. As her talent suggested, she was the embodiment of hope, every word laced with a sickening layer of oozing optimism. I didn't hate her, or even dislike her, but she was uncanny to me. Alien. I simply couldn't understand how someone could think the way she did. We returned to find the ballroom abandoned, save for Hanamaki. She paced tensely in circles, counting to keep herself calm.
88, 96, 104. Kokoro, you're okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I don't know your name.
Hanamaki, I heard a lot about you from the other students. They were all really worried about you.
Speaking of, where are they?
After you left, we put a plan together. I'm sorry, Kokoro, but we couldn't find the culprit. No, I told everyone not to look. We figured it'd only spread more paranoia, maybe even trigger another attack. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. That was the right thing to do.
I think so too. I just figured you wouldn't take a knock on the head so well.
Wasn't there a plan you were getting to?
Yes, everyone split up to investigate the ship. In pairs for safety.
Oh, what are we looking for? An escape route?
Ideally, though, we are in the middle of the ocean.
Guess we should start pulling our weight, huh?
Issue is, there's an odd number of us.
I'll sit out if that's okay. I'm still feeling a little woozy.
I'll stay up here too, just in case the bleeding starts up again.
Why does it sound like you're excited for that?
I'll stick around too then. I'd rather not go off on my own. Besides, now that you're back, maybe we can piece something together about your attacker.
I left the trio of girls to their devices and headed straight for the door. I was curious about this ship, and I really did need a break from all the socializing. Unfortunately, I wouldn't get it.
I guess we're buddies now, huh?
You could just stay behind if you'd prefer.
And miss some valuable one-on-one time with the Ultimate X Ultimate? No chance.
Although it was a prison, the ship was still outwardly luxurious. The hallways were vast, leaving us small and insignificant. Lining them were a number of classrooms, each resembling the one I had woken up in.
This is the one I started in.
2 doors down from mine. Interesting. There's 7 on this side. All identical.
Yeah, so what? Personally, I think it's weirder that they're all still stocked. Pens, paper, everything. It's not like we're gonna get much learning done in a killing game.
No, those make sense. Suicide notes, secret letters, those things are there to stoke the fires. But the rooms, they answer something that's been bugging me.
Really not following here, Masayuki.
We weren't split evenly. 7 of us in one half of the ballroom, 9 in the other. Why not just do the even 8? It seems so arbitrary. It was to ensure that we had 1 room each, to stagger our arrivals at the mixer.
Okay, why even bother if we all meet up at the mixer anyway?
I suppose it creates disparity. The Enigma knew more than us initially, for example. It's a lot easier to trust each other if you're all on the same page, but the minute someone knows something you don't...
So they really engineered this whole thing to make us kill each other, huh? Damn.
We can figure something else from the rooms, too. If we know there's 9 on the other side and 7 classrooms here, those 2 doors on the end must not be a classroom.
Look at you. Gunning for an ultimate detective title next?
I ignored Ji-Yeong, simply heading toward the pair of closed doors. Through them, we heard an unfamiliar voice, shouting and agitated.
Oh my god, you're killing me. Stop it!
Ji-Yeong looked at me for a moment, eyebrow raised with concern. I highly doubt you scream like that when you're actually being killed.
I wasn't even thinking that!
He huffed and entered the room ahead of me. As anticipated, the previous hysterics were the good kind. Laughter.
Koji, Koji-kun, you're too much.
We recognized Kojiro immediately, but his companion was entirely new to us. She was a Gyaru, blonde hair, dark skin, carefully applied makeup, her clothes a tapestry of pastels. The room they inhabited was a sort of rec room, a couple of couches, a pool table, an old TV and VCR, antiquated, but strangely all in mint condition.
Kojiro, good to see you again. Who's the pretty lady?
The pretty lady is none of your damn business.
What?
Don't worry, Miko-chan. Ji-Yeong's a great guy.
Kojiro stepped between the two, expression warm and kind. I would say that he soothed the girl, but she clearly wasn't even angry. She spoke her venomous words with a sickly sweet smile.
Sorry, it's just that getting compliments from guys like you makes me sick to my fucking stomach. I'm Mamiko Rain, ultimate masseuse.
Ji-Yeong spoke slowly and cautiously, like he was scared of setting off a landmine.
Ji-Yeong Park, ultimate manager. Kojiro, what are we, talking about?
You're not gonna believe this, but Miko-chan here is actually a big fan of Stardash.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I had no idea your group was breaking into foreign markets.
Foreign markets? I'm Japanese, asshole.
Ji-Yeong's face dropped and grew pale, dying on his feet. Perhaps this was the first time ever his charm had failed him. Out of pity, I decided to step in. Have you two actually discovered anything? We are still in the midst of a killing game.
Ugh, don't remind me. I was just forgetting about all that terrible stuff.
Don't worry, Miko-chan. I could cheer you up with a private performance if you'd like.
For real?
For real.
For real? Where's my invitation, Kojiro? I'd love to see you live.
Of course. Everyone's welcome to see me perform. That includes you, Masayuki.
It's just a shame you'd be solo. Imagine that. A Stardash show on a boat like this. The nautical theming, the cross-promotion with the Academy, the special edition merchandise.
Oh my god, yeah! That'd be so sick. I'd love to meet Takun.
Oh? You're a Takun girl, huh? I didn't expect him to be your type.
Please never concern yourself with my type again or I'll bury you.
How would you even do that on a boat?
It's Takun, huh? Yeah, he's a great guy.
Oh my god, is he? You've got to tell me all about him.
Sure.
Kojiro's voice soured subtly, though a smile remained plastered on his face. I knew the look of feigned happiness well. Either way, the two clearly had nothing to provide me, so I continued on my way.
Hey, wait up.
You don't have to follow me. You seem to be having fun over there.
Sure, but we're buddies, aren't we? We've got to stick together.
A man without God is like a
It
man
seemed that
without a
other than
house,
their immense
trying to bring
talents,
a
the other
storm
thing my
by
fellow ultimates had in
himself.
common was
He will
being
surely
loud.
suffer. He will get
Much like
swept
before,
away
we had
until
stumbled
he
upon an
realizes
unnecessary
God needs
racket.
protection.
Ji-Yeong skipped off toward the noise, excited by the prospect of a new potential business partner. There were two men, one short and impassioned, slick-back brown hair, glasses, draped in some sort of priestly robe. He was the one shouting and raving, standing on a table that had been snatched from a nearby classroom. His audience of one was a total contrast to him. Wild white hair topping a mountainous body, two small clothes tightly clinging to his form, buttons at risk of popping off at any moment. He sat listening intently to the preacher's ramblings. Ji-Yeong stood beside him, also tuning in.
We are at the center of a conspiracy. I know not what manner of demon has imprisoned us here, but I do know there is only one path to our salvation, to our freedom, faith. That infernal penguin claims to be a higher power. Perhaps he is. He was able to trap us here. But no matter his resources, no matter what he claims, there is a power higher than him, a power higher than any other. God!
Admittedly, his oratory was impressive, but I had no interest in the faith he was selling. Eventually, his words started blurring together, becoming just a wall of noise. Despite this, the other man continued to watch, enraptured. Is this entertaining to you?
Oh, me? Entertaining isn't the right word. Compelling, inspiring, perhaps. I'm not a religious man myself, but the passion within his speech, it reminds me of, the blow of a good horn, if that makes sense.
It did not.
I apologize. Where are my manners? Harold Scott, ultimate composer.
Masayuki Daiju. Finally, the preacher stopped preaching, stepping down from his makeshift stage. Some quiet at last. At least until Ji-Yeong started clapping.
That was awesome! Where'd all that come from?
Like any good sermon, from the heart.
All off the top of your head, huh? That's impressive.
I've never been one for scripts. I just let God guide me and let the words flow out.
I see. So what are you? Ultimate priest? Preacher?
Drew Honeywell, Ultimate Televangelist. Though I hate the title, Televangelist. It makes what I do sound tacky.
TV, huh? I got a lot of experience with it myself. I'm Ji-Yeong Park, Ultimate Manager. Oh, and this is Masayuki Daiju, Ultimate X-Ultimate.
Much obliged. Will you be joining me in prayer?
Oh, we're a little busy at the moment. Investigating.
Speaking of, shouldn't you be doing the same? Have you just been standing here ranting the entire time?
Ranting? How dare you? I don't rant, I preach. And what I preach is very important. I am trying to save all of you from damnation. Even if no one's listening, I have a duty to ensure my fellow man is—
How about we calm down? I'm sure everyone appreciates the tremendous work you're doing, Drew. Though perhaps Masayuki is correct and we should do a smidge more investigating.
Fine. I suppose everyone will be more willing to listen once our affairs are in order.
Yes.
Drew gave us a wave and stomped off to investigate. Harold followed behind.
It was a pleasure meeting you both.
At last, the never-ending hallways gave way to an actual destination. A pair of large doors leading into a spacious dining room, connected to an impressive kitchen, stocked with everything you'd expect. Plates, cutlery, glasses, several fridges and freezers, all filled to the brim with food.
Damn, look at all this stuff. That penguin wasn't lying. He really expects us to live here forever.
Strange. It's all fresh.
Huh? Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
If you're setting out for a 6-month journey, a journey that's supposed to last all of our lifetimes, surely you'd pack food that doesn't spoil, canned goods and the like.
Yeah, now that you mention it.
All the food being fresh implies one of two things. Either this vessel hasn't been at sea for very long, unlikely given that it's picked up ultimates from across the world, or that they have some kind of supply chain, routine deliveries most likely.
Someone on the outside must know we're out here.
Exactly.
That's great. That could be our way out. If we can get a message out to them, they could pick us up on their next delivery and get us out of here.
If they're supplying this whole killing game, it's likely they're co-conspirators in all this. They won't help us.
Damn. Still, it's good to know we'll be well fed at least. You hungry?
Not really.
I'm just saying, if it's your job, then you have a duty to do it.
2 people had arrived in the dining room, so we made our way out of the kitchen to meet them.
And I'm saying there ain't much I can do. I got no resources on this damn boat.
They made a strange pair, like 2 people from mismatched times. One was a girl, red-haired, in chic modern clothing, giving off a high society sort of vibe. The other was a cowboy, straight out of the Wild West, all leather and denim.
Hello?
The 2 snapped out of their conversation, attention now on us.
Ah! Don't sneak up on me like that. We're talking here.
No, I think we're about done. Who are you fellas?
Ji-Yeong Park, Ultimate Manager. Are you not gonna... This is Masayuki Daiju, Ultimate X-Ultimate.
Much obliged. Jim Hamer, Ultimate Sheriff.
Ultimate Sheriff, he says. Some sheriffing letting us all get kidnapped by an evil penguin.
This delightful lady is Erica Rutherford, Ultimate House Decorator, Home Designer?
Interior designer.
Yep, that.
What have you 2 found?
Kitchen's full, all fresh food.
Great. At least we won't die of starvation. We'll just be murdered instead.
Fresh? How'd it wind up here?
That's what we're wondering. If there's some kind of delivery, we were thinking it could be a way out.
That's not half bad, but what's the plan? Hijack a delivery boat?
You're a cop, aren't you? Should you be so eager to suggest a crime?
Way I see it, they shot first by kidnapping us. It's fair game.
Eye for an eye, eh?
I know. Whole world goes blind and all.
That's quite a good thing. Blind people can't go poking each other's eyes out.
Can we get off the eye thing?
What have you 2 found?
Well, we've made it around the entire floor already. Aside from the ballroom, the lounge, and this place, it's just a few classrooms and some locked bedrooms. Everything else is off limits still.
We did see a couple of people from our half of the class trying to get one of the gates open. Lock seemed pretty complex, though.
Maybe we should check that out then. You used to be the ultimate locksmith or something, didn't you, Masayuki?
What? No? You just made that up.
No way. I read that somewhere.
You read wrong.
Come on, all those talents, you must know something about breaking into places.
Well... We left Jim and Erica behind as we returned to the hallways. I spent quite some time convincing Ji-Yeong I had no criminal background. He didn't believe me. In fairness, he was right not to.
You're going to snap it.
I'm not gonna snap it. I know what I'm doing.
I know what you're doing, and what you're doing is going to snap it.
Hey, I'm working with what I got here. Not my fault the penguin took all my lockpicks.
Hell of a conversation you're having here.
The two turned to face us, wholly unimpressed. One was a young man crouched and fiddling with the lock. He was far too sharply dressed for this kind of dirty work, a crisp suit topped with a fedora that shaded his scarred face. The girl next to him was a contrast, extremely short and slim, but stiff and square, clearly a military woman judging by her attitude, formal clothes, and lilac hair neatly packed into a ponytail. She held a stately, gold-topped cane in front of her.
The penguin literally took my lockpicks. It's not weird.
That's assuming it's actually a penguin.
It looks like a penguin, I'm calling it a penguin.
Monopengu, I think was his name. Speaking of, what are yours?
Marcus.
Yelena Gruzdieva. I'm the ultimate interrogator.
Ji-Yeong Park, ultimate manager.
Ji-Yeong leaned over to me, a stupid smirk on his face.
Maybe he's the ultimate locksmith.
Nope. What the hell kind of talent is that?
It's about as meaningless as any other.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I'm the ultimate cheater. You know what that means? I can cheat at anything. And if you can cheat at anything, you can win at anything. It's the best talent there is.
You can cheat anything but that lock, it seems.
Shut up and watch.
So, interrogator, huh?
You're thinking about torture, aren't you? Don't worry. That's an extreme. Most interrogation just comes down to talking.
That's great. I love to talk. No need to bust out the torture over here.
I said most interrogation, not all.
Oh.
For someone who seemed such a womanizer, Ji-Yeong seemed to have the worst luck with women on this ship.
There. How's that, asshole?
Marcus flung to his feet, only for his legs to give way beneath him, setting him lurching towards the floor. Yelena quickly caught him, her steady body providing him a support. She passed him the cane, which he used to prop himself up again.
Wah fucking la. Open staircase.
Before any of us could congratulate him, not that I intended to, we heard impossibly fast footsteps racing down the hall towards us. We looked down the hall to find the source, but all we saw was a flash of black and white, a cloud of dust behind it.
Stop!
The penguin came to a screeching, skidding halt, crashing into the gate covering the stairs.
Stop right there, criminal scum! Those stairs are off limits! There's a system!
That's strange. The gate's open. Seems pretty on limits to me.
You unlocked it. I saw you.
Me? No, you must be confused. You got the wrong guy. Did you guys see anything?
I saw nothing.
Me neither.
Nothing.
Okay. New rule. No more unlocking off-limits areas. Punishable by death.
Alright, don't worry. God knows I'd never break any rules.
You're literally opening the gate. You're breaking it right now.
I thought the rule was we can't unlock any off-limit areas. Not that we can't enter them.
Fine. Go ahead. Next time I won't be so kind.
Oh, thanks, Monopengu. You're a sweetheart.
With a defeated screech, Monopengu was gone just as he arrived, in a flash of black and white.
It appears we're just below deck down here. This staircase should lead outside.
Great. I could use some fresh air.
Hold up. Masayuki, remember what you said about disparity?
Yes. Disparity in information breeds division, increasing the likelihood of a murder.
Then we should all go together. All 16 of us. It'd do us a lot of good. We'd all get to step into the sun together.
Ha! Nah, I want first dibs on the... Hey!
Yelena snatched his cane away, leaving Marcus unable to ascend the stairs.
I like the plan. Get the others. We will wait here.
Fuck you.
No, oh, come on. This is such a killjoy. No, I've heard. Yeah, no.
For the first time since Kokoro was attacked, we were all in one place. She quickly became the center of everyone's attention. They all gathered around her, expressing their relief that she was okay. One of them was, of course, lying. Marcus insisted on going first up the stairs, claiming he had the right. We humored him, more to get it out of the way than anything. It was strange, but we had already come to crave the sun. The artificial light of the ship hung heavy over us. The stagnant air circulated only by our nervous, tense breaths had grown suffocating in only a mere few hours. We needed this release, this feeling, although small, of freedom. As soon as the coast was clear, they went storming upstairs. Jackie and Sonny raced ahead first, bumping shoulder to shoulder. Erica berated them for running, slowly ascending close to the edge. Ji-Yeong went up ahead of me, attempting to smooth over earlier awkwardness with Mamiko. Kojiro made himself known to Harold, though their musical preferences seemed to clash. Then went Drew, alone, ranting and raving, Jim behind him exhausted by his rhetoric, which must be common in their part of the world. Yelena interrogated the Enigma, who refused to give any answers, and Zhang Zhao listened in, occasionally interjecting with baseless ideas about their potential identity. Ever polite, Hanamaki waited for me to go ahead of her, gesturing for me to ascend. I refused, allowing her to go first. Then it was just me. Just me. And Kokoro.
Aren't you gonna go up?
Why? It's just the deck.
It's not just the deck. It's the sea, the sky, and the sun. It'll almost be like a normal cruise.
It's not, and you'd be foolish to forget that. She frowned at me. Her frown was strange. It never seemed to reach her eyes, like the sadness could never fully touch her soul.
At least come outside. You could probably use the vitamin D.
She was right. I could use the vitamin D, so I followed her upstairs. The sun was warm and embracing, bathing us all in its light. It wasn't too hot, though. A subtle wind kept us all cool, trailing over us gently each time it blew. It seemed to quickly sap all the worry from everyone.
Look at this! There's a pool!
How sweet is that? Maybe we should all go for a swim.
None of us have any bathing suits, though.
So? Just strip down to your underwear. That'll do the job.
No one is doing that.
There's lockers and changing rooms right here. Maybe there'll be some in there.
Sure enough, everyone managed to find some standard edition school bathing suits. Somehow, our killing game had turned into a pool party. A few of us decided to abstain. There was myself, Jim, Harold, Drew, the Enigma, of course, and to my surprise, Kojiro. Most of us continued socializing amongst ourselves or with those in the pool from afar, safe from splashing distance, but Kojiro and the Enigma seemed to have other plans. Kojiro milled around near a large greenhouse on the other side of the deck. I joined him in his investigation. A greenhouse? I didn't take you for much of a gardener.
I'm not. I just thought I'd check out the rest of the deck before splashing around in the pool.
Why are you just standing outside, then?
It's locked. Look at this.
He gestured to a panel outside the room. It had a small pixelated representation of Sonny's face.
It looks like it's designed for him. He's a florist, after all. It makes sense.
So he has to unlock it.
That's my guess. Do you always have to do that?
Do what?
Loom over people looking creepy? You're like an evil scarecrow or something, jeez.
I am literally just standing here.
Yeah, sorry, you can't help it. I'm gonna join the party.
Hey! You guys started without me!
With that strange interaction out of the way, I turned my attention to the Enigma. Where have you been lurking this entire time?
Huh? Me? Lurking? No, you've got the wrong person.
It was you, wasn't it?
That attacked Kokoro? Nice try, buddy. But...
You turned off the lights.
Oh. You got me there.
Why?
Dumb question. I wanted to get to know you guys, see what kind of people you all are. Clearly, you're not very good ones.
They left me there with a skip in their step. I felt somewhat that I was beginning to understand them, although I didn't like what I was coming to understand. Alone again, I looked over the edge of the boat. The vastness of the sea always disturbed me, even more so now. There was no sign of land anywhere, just never-ending blue. It wasn't a beautiful blue, it was dark, almost black like oil. Opaque, concealing all that could be lurking beneath, just as the peace we were experiencing now concealed the horror of the killing game. Soon enough, though, we would learn that this game, like the ocean surrounding us on all sides, was much deeper and much darker than we could ever comprehend. The sun was already close to setting, skimming the horizon. The day was fading, giving way to the cold, dark night to come.
Masayuki! Hey! Masayuki!
I turned to see Ji-Yeong calling me from the pool, waving for me to come over. I obliged, arriving at the edge of the water where he lay, leaning over the side like a siren. What? His smile twisted into a devious smirk. There was a plan at hand. I observed my surroundings, clocking the reflection in his sunglasses. There was someone behind me, Jackie Taylor. I attempted to react, making a step to my side, but found my body too slow. Perhaps a few years and a few injuries ago I would have made it, but not now. Her hands collided with my back, propelling me gracelessly into the water. As I pulled my head from the water, I was greeted with Ji-Yeong's warm, boisterous laughter.
Oh man, sorry. It was Kokoro's idea.
From the other bank of the pool, Kokoro protested, flailing her arms in embarrassment.
I just said we should get him in the pool, not push him in the pool.
I cleared the hair from my face. I looked straight into the two of them. They wanted me to crack. A smile, a laugh, even anger would do. They wanted so desperately a glimpse of emotion from me. But they did not receive one. I just looked blankly toward them before dragging myself from the water. The disappointment and confusion on their faces was palpable. They looked at me like I shouldn't exist. I was alien to them, as they were to me.
It was just a joke. You don't have to take it so seriously.
I know. I became more of a spectacle for the rest of the class. They all looked at me with confusion, all putting themselves in my shoes, picturing the spectrum of emotion such a prank would have on them. Anger, confusion, amusement. I felt none of these things. All I could think about was where I'd get a set of new clothes. Thankfully, I ceased to be the center of attention for long, as a familiar voice came screeching over the tannoy.
Good evening, class. Haven't got a penguin pun for that one yet. Evequin? No, that's lame. Anyway, please proceed downstairs. I have a big announcement.
Everyone else clamored to get dry and changed. I went on ahead, still soaked. I found Monopengu waiting outside of the locked bedrooms, still, staring forward with no motion or life, like a machine that hadn't been activated yet. Perhaps that's what he was.
What happened to you? You look like 3 drowned rats in a trench coat.
Not the worst thing I've been called.
Jeez, I can't believe it. You kids having a pool party on day 1? That's not supposed to happen. You're not even meant to unlock the pool until a couple people have died.
There's a planned progression, then. The more we kill, the more luxurious our lives get.
Gotta keep you motivated.
Thankfully, I didn't have to keep making small talk with the psychotic penguin. The others who had neglected the pool arrived.
Wow, you look worse than usual, Masayuki, and that's saying something.
Shortly after, the rest arrived. We naturally sort of lined up in a neat single-file line against the wall, like a firing squad execution.
Oh, thank goodness everyone's back in decent clothing.
Not me. I'm naked. But that's not what I'm here to announce. I'm here to announce...
A literal drum roll came from nowhere.
Your roommates! You see, this UTCP isn't just a fuddy-duddy educational affair. It's a time for friendship, romance, freaky stuff. What better way to insert that into our killing game than by cramming you into pairs?
Pairs? Do we get to pick?
Remember what I said about questions, Koichiro? We'll decide with this.
He stamped the floor with a flipper, causing a trapdoor to grind open. From it popped 2 bingo machines. One blue and one pink.
The Mono machines! We've got one for boys, one for girls. We can have you killing each other, but a boy and a girl sharing a bedroom? We could never allow such degeneracy. Inside each of these is a ball with your face on it. We'll spin it twice, and whichever pair comes out will be roomies. That was the break for applause? These for ultimates, you guys sure don't catch on quick. There is just one problem with the system, of course. We have our Enigma here. At least Kokoro gets it. Now, Enigma. For the purposes of this, do you want to be a boy or a girl?
Surprise me.
Girl it is.
He pulled out a ball with the Enigma's mask on it from out of nowhere, dropping it into the girls' machine.
Okay, everybody, here we go!
The bingo balls trundled out one at a time, Monopengu announcing each pairing with great glee.
Next up we got Masayuki Daiju and Ji-Yeong Park.
I looked back at Ji-Yeong, who for once didn't smile at me. By the end, these were the pairings. Yelena Gruzdeva and Erica Rutherford, Drew Honeywell and Sonny MacMillan, Zhang Xiaoshu and Jackie Taylor, Kojiro Nakusawa and Jim Hamer, Kokoro Uehara and Mamiko Rain, Harold Scott and Marcus Dawson, Enigma and Hanamaki Hanagata, and of course, Ji-Yeong Park and Masayuki Daiju. Everyone flittered about, making niceties with their new roommates.
Drew, nice to meet ya, Sonny MacMillan.
Why are you talking so loud? I'm right in front of you!
A spelunker? How wonderful! You'll have to tell me about all the artifacts you've found.
I'm sure you'll be wonderful company, Mr. Dawson.
Yeah, whatever. If it's bunk beds, I got the top.
Okay, everyone, I know we're all excited to check out our rooms, but before we hit the hay for tonight, let's make a plan. How about we all meet up in the dining room? Let's say 9 o'clock.
I'll see you
Sure
there.
thing.
Everyone agreed to the proposition and began saying their goodnights. I decided to head straight in. The room was sizable, 2 double beds either side of the room with a large space between, a small sofa area with a table for socializing or games. It even had an ensuite shower. There was also a huge wardrobe. On either side were countless identical copies of our current clothing. I quickly took a pair to change in the bathroom. When I emerged, I found Ji-Yeong waiting, legs crossed, on one of the beds.
There's pajamas in the dresser.
I sleep in these anyway. I made my way toward the unclaimed bed, but as I went to sit, Ji-Yeong spoke, cutting through the air and straight to me.
I don't understand you. At all.
I turned to face him, still standing and looking down at him.
Like, I know people. My whole talent is knowing and understanding people, but you... I pulled that prank on you because I was desperate, you know? I've spent a whole day with you, meeting all kinds of people, seeing all sorts of things. Terrifying stuff like Kokoro getting attacked, amazing stuff like everyone coming together as friends at the pool. All this, and your face never changed. No smile, no anger, you don't even seem to get confused. You just do this stupid little twitch with your eyebrow. Yeah, that one! I just wanted to see one little reaction, just to give me something to go off. Some little bit of information that I could use to start figuring you out. But even then, pulled suddenly into cold water out of nowhere, nothing! Like you didn't even feel it. How does that even work?
You didn't think to just ask me?
What? Just come out of nowhere and say, "Hey Masayuki, why are you such a freak?"
Sure, I wouldn't be insulted.
Enlighten me then. What's up with you?
Nothing. By choice. Why bother getting angry? Cooler heads prevail in the end. Why bother being happy? All good things come to an end. Why get attached to anyone here when inevitably we'll kill each other? Sure, I could try and enjoy myself, live with some hope that maybe we'll get to live peaceful, full lives on this ship, but we won't. And when that time comes, that hope will come crashing down, driving me into despair once again. Hope begets despair. And sure, despair begets hope. We can rise from the ashes, find light in the darkest of times, but that light is inevitably snuffed out again. Despair begets hope. Hope begets despair. Despair, hope, despair, hope. It's pointless. The only logical choice is to break the cycle. Accept despair and only despair. It's the only thing that makes sense. If that makes me a freak in your eyes, so be it.
Aren't you miserable?
No, it's just the way things are.
Great.
He fell flat on the bed, looking into the ceiling, sunglasses covering his eyes as he laughed weakly. What?
Now you make even less sense.
You asked.
I mean, I get it purely logically, but I still don't get how you live like that.
You'll understand someday.
Yeah, I will.
He jolted up, swiping the sunglasses away from his face. His eyes seemed a brighter green than ever, like the smile he was giving lit up his entire face.
I'll crack you someday. Figure out exactly what makes you tick. Once I do, I don't know if I'm gonna make you laugh or make you cry, but I'm gonna wipe that melancholy look off your face.
You're welcome to try. I lay down myself, exhaustion hitting me all at once. Ji-Yeong's declaration struck me. His determination was palpable, though diluted. The way he smiled and looked at me, it was burned into my mind, even as I tried to sleep that night. As I danced along the edge of consciousness, I somehow knew what was to come next. We had only spent one day on this ship, but already I knew that this would be the last peaceful night we'd ever have. The last time all 16 of us would live and breathe as a collective. I'm sure everyone else aboard this ship went to bed with the hope that we'd all wake up alive in the morning, the hope that they at least wouldn't be the first to die. But hope inevitably begets despair.
Thank you for tuning in to Danganronpa S.O.S. There's plenty of chaos to come, so be sure to subscribe for more chills, thrills, and most importantly, kills! I'll make sure you don't regret it. If you'd like to speak to like-minded folks about Danganronpa S.O.S, or just keep a closer eye on our announcements, you should join our community Discord. Well, that's all from me. I gotta get back to running the killing game. If I leave those kids unattended too long, who knows what'll happen?